The traditional dates for the birth of Muhammad are 570 AD, or of the Common Era, so a little over 5 centuries after the time of Jesus. And then the first revelation comes when he's 40 years old in the year 610. He died in 632.
صلى عليك إلهنا مولانا ما ضاء نجم في السماء أو بان.
قالت رأيت حين حملت به خرج نور أضاء لي قصور بصرى بالشام ولم أسمع بحمل أسهل من حملي به سيكون لهذا الغلام شأن عظيم.
He came amongst people who do not have any form of civilizations, Arab before Islam, and even until now, away from Islam, they have no civilization to be proud about it except their own language.
He found a nation that was shattered and united it. He found the most uncivilized anarchists and made them the most civilized humans of all times. Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wa sallam was sent in the midst of that chaos.
He was born into a reasonably prominent but not really very affluent family of Mecca. It is certainly a message of monotheism against what was considered to be a prevailing paganism or polytheism on the part of the merchants and tribesmen of Arabia. Muhammad's first converts are his family circle and a group of key friends, and they're all important historically.
Look how they loved Muhammad ﷺ, and Abu Sufyan says, Wallahi, I have not seen a people who love Muhammad ﷺ the way the companions loved him.
The man who the companions say they never seen him but smiling. He never greeted any of them but smiling. He never breached a treaty with an unbeliever. He never breached a treaty with one who breached a treaty against him. He never betrayed those who betrayed him. He fulfilled his covenants when they breached their treaties. He was truthful to those who were dishonest and liars to him.
The people who ruled Mecca feared that their control was slipping from their grasp, and they feared that this new movement was popular with a lower class. In 622, the city of Medina, another merchant center, invited Muhammad to come as a kind of arbiter or ruler who was above factions and who could then settle their internecine disputes.
In Medina, Muhammad's position changed considerably. He went from a social critic to a community leader. And as I think we've seen in lots of instances, it's a lot easier to be a critic than to run things.
The leadership Muhammad provided, the Quran itself calls him a beautiful model. And so that's a second source of authority. This is something that a lot of people don't understand much.
يا رب بلغ الحبيب مقاصدا لا نستطيع لوصفها تبيانا أنت الكريم فلا تخيب راجيا فأجب إلهي سؤلنا ودعانا.
And it is in Medina that we really start to see emerge what can be called an Islamic identity. Both a religious leader and a judge. He is a community leader and a spiritual leader.
Beginning in the European Renaissance, however, we see a new, more positive theme emerging in the way that the Prophet is portrayed in the West. The image of Muhammad as a brilliant state builder who used religion to forge a civilization. So the idea of someone who builds a civilization and he uses religion as a tool to do this. Of course, Western writers still assume that he was lying in his claims about prophecy, but his accomplishments were now admired.
And when people are talking about Islam being a religion of peace, this is baloney. It just isn't. It just isn't. And Muhammad in the Quran is teaching warfare. So at the core of this faith is militant warfare against those who are not under submission.
Then you've got the life of Muhammad. Again, a bad man. A very bad man, it has to be said. Not a great role model.
رحمة للعالمين، لكن هل هؤلاء من العالمين من يقدر ذلك؟ سيرة بقية الأنبياء له أعداء، خلاص هذا قدر الله، وكذلك جعلنا لكل نبي عدوا.
وقد روي، ولم أقف على إسناد الله، عن النبي صلى الله عليه وسلم: أنا الضحوك القتال. قال ابن كثير: أي ضحوك لأوليائه قتال لأعدائه.
So as well as being a mercy for mankind, he was a prophet of jihad as well.
Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wa sallam, who said, أنا نبي المرحمة وأنا نبي الملحمة. I'm the prophet of mercy and I'm the prophet of war.
أنا نبي الرحمة، وليس فقط. الكثير من الناس والكثير من الدعاة يقفون عند هذا الحد من هذا الحديث، بينما النبي صلى الله عليه وآله وسلم يقول: أنا نبي الرحمة ونبي الملحمة.
I once did a study a few years ago. I had the collection of some books, history books, and I had some time. And I calculated how many people died during the Prophet's time in wars. The Prophet during his lifetime, all his lifetime in messagehood, had 63 battles between a ghazwa and a sariyah. Ghazwa is when he personally went, sariyah is when he sent someone in his place. 63. The total casualties during the Prophet's time from wars the Muslims had fought was 1,287, give or take just a couple, not more than that, to be accurate. I dare any Orientalist to prove me wrong on this matter. When anyone tries to change society in any kind of change, even when a group of people move from one country to another, there's hundreds and thousands of people die. When any ideology pops up, someone may say the armies there were much smaller than today, so it's not a comparison. I say those who were fighting with the casualties, it's a 1% ratio. Whether from the believer side or the non-believer side. Let's say it's 1 to 2%. If you look today at wars today, you're going to find that the ratio between the armies who fought and the casualties is 300%, 200%, 500%. How can it be more than the entire army itself? Because there's entire destructions of towns and civilians. The Prophet ﷺ avoided that. They killed civilians. They devastated towns today. But that didn't happen during the Prophet ﷺ. The Prophet ﷺ told them, don't even cut a tree. When you're out on a battle, don't even cut a tree. Protect the innocent. If you see a worshiper of their worshippers, get away from him. When he heard or seen a lady who was an innocent one dead, he got so upset, his face changed colors. He says, "Ma kanat hadhihi lituqatil." This woman didn't fight. Why did you kill her?
Our understanding of it is perhaps partial and distorted. Jihad means struggle. It is a struggle against other religions or against other tendencies within Islam. It is wrong to think of the Arab conquest as an expression of jihad in the sense that guys with knives in their teeth, ride out and offer a terrorized population the choice of death or conversion. Once again, it is possible to have a religious motivation and yet not necessarily want to kill or convert the conquered people.
But in the jihad of the Prophet ﷺ, which they find as something which they can't accept of a prophet, that a prophet would come with a message of jihad, is a mercy unto them. Somebody might say, how so? This is how. Had Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala not legislated jihad for the Prophet ﷺ and for his ummah, then the way Allah would have dealt with these unbelievers is that He would have dealt with them as He dealt with the unbelievers before, which is destroy them en masse. in all, like he did with the people of Nuh, the people of Ad, the people of Thamud, and so forth.
And by 627, Medina gained the upper hand, and in 630, Mecca fell to Muhammad and his forces. And all of the tribes of Mecca and of the surrounding areas submitted to Muhammad. They recognized him as a political as well as religious leader. Again, the two things not easily to be distinguished.
In the
8th year Hijri, which is 629 AD, there was one particular battle which took place, known as Ghazwat al-Muta. And this battle was a famous battle regarding one ambassador which was sent from the Islamic State to the Romans. Obviously, there's many battles that took place before this, but this was the first battle between the Muslims and the Christians. Now, when that ambassador, Al-Haris ibn Hazdi, was sent to the Byzantine Empire, what do you think the king he done? He done the ultimate crime. He killed the ambassador. No, Rasulullah. He immobilized immediately the army of jihad, that empire.
يا ربي بالمصطفى بلغ مقاصدنا واغفر لنا ما مضى يا واسع الكرم يا ربي.
And the army being gathered together, 3,000 to 4,500 Muslims. Imagine that. Meaning it's something that you and me have not witnessed. We have never seen 4,500 Muslims going out ready to fight. Why? For one Muslim that's been killed. One companion who was killed, Rasulullah, he mobilized an army of 3,000 to 4,500 Muslims. And how many do you think they're going to face? Yeah, my 3,500 were going to fight your 3,500. It wasn't the case. They went to fight 200,000. You know, that means serious. You know, and when immediately when the news has already reached the Romans of East Jordan, where this is where the Muslims they were going, they knew immediately that this guy he means business.
An army of 3,000 facing an army of 200,000 is something that you would find in no religion and no tradition.
واسع الكرم فاق النبيين في خلق وفي خلق ولم يدانوه في علم ولا كرم.
So they gave the banner to Khalid ibn Walid and they said, you are our leader. So it was the Muslims who appointed Khalid ibn Walid. They chose him to lead. And he was also a new Muslim. And this is the first battle that he would lead.
And Khalid bin Walid, what he done was he used his strategy in the war. He brought the troops from the rear, meaning from the back, with new banners. And that gave the kuffar the impression that, look, if there's people coming from the back, that means he's got reinforcements. There must be some extra people. I mean, he gave the impression to the kuffar there's not 3,500, 4,000, but there's in fact more. And the Byzantines, you know what they done? They withdrew themselves. Khalid bin Walid, he safely returned to Medina, and after that he's been given the title Saifullah.
فمبلغ العلم فيه أنه بشر وأنه خير خلق الله كلهم يا ربي بالمصطفى بلغ مقاصدنا.
Indeed, as Ibn al-Qayyim said, the Prophet ﷺ only fought those who fought him, began fighting him. So it was self-defense. And he made peace with whoever who wanted to make peace with him.
People in our current times, brothers and sisters, have tried to degrade the Prophet ﷺ. Whether it be a cartoon, or drawings, or TV shows, or newspaper articles, they will try anything they can to bring down the name of Muhammad ﷺ, because he is honored and respected and elevated in the hearts of billions of people.
If greatness of purpose, smallness of means, and outstanding results are the three criteria of human genius, who could dare to compare any great man in modern history with Muhammad?
لكل هول من الأهوال مقتحم هو الحبيب الذي ترجى شفاعته.
In 632 he died, and what is remarkable is that the momentum he established was able to survive his demise. And indeed, his death would usher in a period of incredibly rapid expansion.